Goody 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 everyone, this is Dayhawk, bringing to you my take, my review of Kamen Rider Revice episode 28. So this is the continuation of episode 27. Vice is berserk, Ikki is asleep, and poor Sakura and Daiji are trying their best to restrain him. And George comes in. He has the new Thunder Gale V stamp and tells them that, hey, this new stamp will help or will not help. And Sakura's reaction's like, how's that is gonna help out, because you just said that it may not help. And George just points out, just like the Holy Wing, it requires a sacrifice. Like someone has to be killed in order to fully activate the V stamp. The only difference is Ikki and Vice have a very close relationship compared to Daiji and Kagero. So this is going to be very interesting. And so the plan is to use that stamp and hopefully something will come up. And so he throws the stamp at Daiji, and then George transforms into Kamen Rider Demons. And like I told you in the last video, he doesn't deserve to become the new demons. And maybe it's a one-time thing, or maybe he's gonna keep transforming until Hiromi returns, but he doesn't deserve to bear that driver. I don't care if he was the one who created it. I don't care. I don't. Because after what he did to Hiromi, not telling him that there's a demon living in that driver and that it's causing him to rapidly age, and that any given time when he transforms, it could be his last. And I can never forget that Hiromi confronts George, and he knew all about it, and he mocked him by using his own catchphrase. Regardless of how you feel about his catchphrase, cheesy or not, stupid or not, just to have him thrown to his face like that, like, he deserved to get punched. And he had that moment where after he gives his resignation, he would have just punched him in the face. But it didn't happen. But that's how I feel about that situation. Please, in the comments down below, tell me how you felt when George transformed into Kamen Rider Demons. Now, with that out of the way, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's just shouting things in English. It sounds like he's having fun. And he just reminds me a whole lot of Spider-Man. He was giving me Spider-Man vibes. And no, it's not because of the suit and the design. No, it's not. It's just the attitude and it's just the swag. And he's living like the dream of any fan. If you're a fan of Marvel, DC, Sentai, Rider, and your dream is to become that particular superhero and you achieved it, wouldn't you be in Cloud 9? I would be. You know? I'll be the first to admit that I would definitely be living the dream if I ever become a Kamen Rider, you know? But you see George, living the dream, and he held his own. Even Sakura was like, What? Yeah, I mean, I'm much more than just a scientist, kids. I'm much more than that. And he even said before he transformed that it was you guys that made me realize that I am more than just someone sitting in the sidelines. You know, it's time for me to take action and be, and just do something aside from just watching you guys on screen. And he said too that he's going to surpass his father, and that's it. So after this, I wouldn't be surprised, and I said so in the very beginning, that George will be a Kamen Rider. I just don't see him being demons. I don't see it. He will have to create a new driver for himself. And he definitely needs to fix the demon driver now that Veil is gone. Yeah. So Daiji managed to stamp the V stamp on to the driver, and the three people assume that everything is all right because Vice just stood still. But all of a sudden, he was going all kabloomy. He was going all kablooey. And Daiji is screaming at the top of his lungs, assuming that he is dead. But George said, no, I don't think he's dead yet. Right now, he's fighting for his life. So, we have to, protect his body until then. And then Gifu the Magnificent appears, just floating in, and poor Angelia is... she's a lost lamb. She is. And when she confronts the coffin and just asks it, what am I to you? What do I need to do? And Gifu just sticks out his hand. But not what you think, because he ends up slapping her and just cast her aside. You're not my wife. You're not useful to me anymore. You're not worth eating. Get away from me. That's rough. That's really rough. And then Takumi comes in and trying to console her, comfort her, but it's not working. Even though he's determined to not leave her alone. But my God. And then Oteka just throws salt in the wound. My God. Meanwhile, inside Ikki's mind, he is transported to the happy spa. And I need to tell you guys this. I think someone behind the scenes have seen Hellraiser. Evidence of this? Gifu eating people left and right, just like in Hellraiser 3, when Pinhead was sealed in this pillar of souls, and then you see him eat this young woman. Kind of reminds me of that. And now here, it reminds me a whole lot of Hellbound, because Christy is transported into hell, and as she is searching for her long lost father in hell, she, either Christy or this little girl, who was the blonde girl, got transported into this carnival of hell. And you see all these clowns, the eerie carnival music. It reminds me a whole lot of that. Guys, something tells me someone have seen Hellbound and decided to plot a few Easter eggs into this show, into this episode. But this is the PG version, the kids version. And so Icky went inside, and the house itself looks so weird. And Mama-san does not talk to him. And then not Iki, Daiji and Sakura is eating what looks like rice balls, and Daiji is playing with airplanes. And then heading deep into the spa, there's demons, playing in the pool. And it's creepy, weird. And then Iki gets transported to the dead man's base, where you could see Vale in his father's body. And just typical Vale, giving the typical villain speech. And Iki realized something about Vale. And he thinks that he is afraid. He is jealous of his dad and the family. And I think Iki is right. Because if you remember, back at the flashback, Vale wants to destroy everything that Jumpy has created for him. Vale reminds me a whole lot of a disgruntled, bitter ex. Vale is the bitter ex. And of course he's not going to kill Jumpy, because he knows if he dies, then he dies along with him. I think the whole plan is to kill everybody and everything he cares about, so that he is broken, and then that's when Vale can really take control of his body and become Kamen Rider Vale once more, and just finish what they have started. That's pretty much what it is, And Iki tells Vale to his face that I'm gonna protect my family, and I will stop at nothing to defeat you and anybody that threatens them. And of course Vale is like, well, I hope you burn in hell. And not before he said that, well, Vice will end up just like me, and you're in a way demons yourselves, because your father inherited Gifu's soul or cells into him. So in a way, you guys are demons as well, And at the very end, before cursing Iki, he tells him, let go. Just let go. Be at peace. Forget about your family. But of course, Iki's like, screw you. And that's where he gets transported, where Iki and Vice, and mind you, Vice has Iki's face. It makes sense because, that's Iki's demon. Same way as Kagero is to Daiji. It makes sense. And it's like they're in her dark half. But it's strange that Sakura has a baby cobra for a demon herself. It's strange, but and then this is the part where again we have another speech where again reestablish their relationship. And This is where, however, it's different. It's different yet the same. But overall, he is thanking Vice for protecting him all these years. And you've been there for me. And the part where I got a little bit confused is where you accepted me in my broken soul. What does he mean by broken soul? Because he has always been a happy boy. I never seen him all depressed or anything else. So I feel like I'm missing something. But for people who are stuck around this far, please write in the comments below of what you think he meant by his broken soul. You know, because to me it was like, broken soul? Weird, but okay. So he pretty much saying thank you to Vice. Now it's my turn to protect you. And that's where he took his weapon. He conjured his weapon, his axe, and ends up slicing Vice. And that's where he comes to, and Ikki is in control now. Now, a little bit fast forward after Gifu slaps Angelia and Oteka is throwing salt at her. Oteka fuses with Gifu. And mind you, he doesn't turn into a disgusting, grotesque monster as we all assumed. No, it wasn't the case. It was more of his old form with new and bright colors. Just like with the road mutes, where they attain a new power, but they just changed the color from their perspective colors to gold. That was it. Same case here. And Oteka seemed to be unstoppable because George, Sakura, and Daiji were given their best shots at him, but what it looked like, they won. They had severe damage towards Oteka. He ends up healing rather quickly, and it wasn't good, and it looks like it was the end. And again, George, with his shouting words in English, Spider-Man vibes, up until the driver malfunctioned again and he demorphs. George, you need to fix that damn driver. He needs to fix it. Of course, people will say, how in the hell would you transform without a demon? I mean, that's a valid, question to ask. But since Veil is gone, it's safe for people to use. But at the same time, you need a demon. It's been proven many times. And again, it reassures that you need a demon to stay in Kamen Rider form. But he managed to stick around for long, and like I said, he was not half bad. And so Ikki has returned. He uses the Thunder Gale form, and you guys already seen pictures of the new suit. Whether or not it's its ultimate form, that remains to be seen. However, I do not like it. I don't like it. It's the least of the suits that I like in this season. I've seen worse. I have seen worse. But I prefer Vice's black form than his lightning form. I just don't like it. It's just the colors and just, it's out there. It just sticks out a lot. and I personally don't like it. I don't. I mean, write in the comments below as well. Do you like Thundergale Revice? Because I need to know. Because I know you guys might say, "Oh, Dayhawk, you're poo-pooing on the suits." No. All I said until now that it needs a little bit of trimming. It needs like, maybe get rid of this and add this and that. It needs a little, tweaking. In this case, I just plainly don't like it. I don't see myself getting a figure arts figure of that. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm sorry. In any case, he gets his new form, whether it's his ultimate form or not. He easily defeats the newly formed Oteka, and that's the end. Oteka's defeated, and Gifu is separated. However, just when you thought that it was going to be a happy ending, Oteka's going to be arrested again. No, it's not the case. Gifu eats Oteka, Hellraiser Hellraiser style, and with his sacrifice, you see the coffin, getting not destroyed, but it's just more like falling apart, and we get a glimpse of Gifu a little bit, and then it flies away. So I'm guessing after eating Oteka, he's fully resurrected. And yeah, he's fully resurrected. Angelia, she leaves. Takumi is crying, and everybody else is just stunned for what just happened. And of course, Iki and Vice are separated now, and it looks like Vice has a physical form now, so I don't think he's gonna revert into spirit form. So I think he's gonna be in the physical plane from now on. From now on, it kind of sucks because he was more useful in the spirit form than his physical. Because in his spirit form, he can go into, let's say, an iPad and do something. Go into a bike, or get into a cell phone. He was more useful in spirit form than he was in his physical form, but we'll see. And then in closing, George finally meets his father. His father is pleading with him, saying that we need to work together now that Gifu is resurrected now. We need to work together. He was impressed by the new V-stamp. I beg of you, please. And George, with a reasonable question, why didn't you tell me that you were alive this entire time? And the doctor said, it's not a legit answer, but he's like, once you become a parent, you will understand someday. That was it. And as what it looked like, George was about to hug him or something. He just ups and leaves. I mean, I don't blame him. I don't. And Sakura's like, can you just make up already? Just make peace. Oh, Sakura, oh my god, you're the gift that keeps on giving. Just make up already. Hug it out. But no, it's not gonna happen. At least anytime soon. And Sakura tells the doctor, she's officially joining, and just tells and asks, well, like, what can I do? And that's the end there. And then you see Daiji, apparently he's not quitting Phoenix, and tells the director that I'm staying because I believe in Phoenix, and my job now is to get rid of the corruption, the poison that is affecting the good name of Phoenix. And he says it directly towards the crazy cuckoo director, and then he ends up leaving, and the cuckoo director's like, oh, how heroic, and he gives that dirty look. Oh, before I forget, Jumpy's memories have returned. Apparently, after Gifu's resurrection, Gifu's memories have returned. So now he is running away, not running away, but he is moving to a different place, because the last time we saw him, when he got his memory back, he was in some kind of red room. Like, where the hell are you? Why is the whole room red? I know I'm nitpicking, but whatever. And then it leads to the ending of the episode where Icky is helping out his mom, and then you hear in the background Papa San's voice saying, hey, my memories have returned. However, it's not safe for me to return. So please, hold on without me at the moment. I will return when it's safe. Please forgive me. And please, trust in me. I'll be back. And that's the end of the episode. I have a couple of things, though. The whole thing about Icky's images from pictures, did they stop? Or they're going to continue that particular problem into the next arc? Because I assume that another piece of Icky's images and pictures are going to start disappearing now. But it hasn't happened, and I have questions. Are they going to continue it, or they dropped it? Another thing too, this is more of a mini rant than anything else. It's just, I enjoy the season overall. It's just my main problem is they keep ridding good potential villains so quickly. And Kagero and Oteka had potential to become memorable villains if they had more time to nourish and character develop and all that. Like I said with Kagero, I wish he had his own personal arc. He would have been a major threat, and then Daiji would fought back and keep Kagero in stasis for a while, and then build up the whole, hey, let us work together. Let us be like Vice and Icky. We can do this. And have the potential to become an anti-hero. But they threw Kagero away for a power-up. I have to say it is what it is. It sucks. I enjoy Kagero, but it's just the way he was used at the very end for a power-up. I just personally don't like that. He had potential to become a great character. And then Oteka, he's an a-hole. He was the type of a-hole that you love to hate. And he had potential to at least stick around to the very end. And he was also the type that he will backstab anybody including his master, to attain ultimate power and ruling the world. But in this case, it's not going to happen because Gifu ate him up. And me personally, I wish he will stay a little bit longer and have more backstory, because his backstory is pretty tragic, which led him into the dark path in the first place. But it is what it is. And I wanted to know from you guys, like, do you think that Kagero and Oteka deserved to have better stories? And more importantly, do you guys think that they had potential in becoming great characters and not being thrown away as what happened with them? What do you guys think? I'm curious. I'm mighty curious. Now, with Oteka gone, who's gonna be the next villain aside from Gifu? Is Gifu gonna take the reins now? Or is the crazy director gonna be the one that is gonna be causing chaos while Gifu is planning on whatever it is he's planning to do? We have to wait and see, guys. We have to wait and see. And if this episode is great as a cliffhanger in case, Japan had something planned for the weekend, but this is like the perfect cliffhanger, because now that this arc ends, another begins. And what I saw in the preview, it's more of a laid-back filler episode. So I don't know what's gonna happen there, but yeah. Anyways, what do you guys think about the episode? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Tell me all about it in the comments below. Did I miss anything as well? Please write in the comments down below. Tell me what you think about the suit. I already told you what I felt about the suit. Tell me what you felt about George becoming Kamen Rider Demons. Tell me about what you guys think about the story of Ikki's images disappearing. Are they going to continue it, or they dropped it? Tell me all about it. Let me know in the comments down below. And give a like if you like it, and subscribe. And I'll see you all on the other side of Oblivion. Johnny!